Happening now, investigators have released the cause of a fire that trapped a Ripley woman on the second floor of her home this week, plus the latest on a fatal crash here in Chautauqua County.
Well, we've got one dry day today, and then we're going to see some rain showers return to the region before more cold infiltrates the region. We'll talk about it in detail next as the news at noon starts right now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Fire investigators say a blaze that trapped a woman on the second floor of a Ripley home this week started on accident. Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. The Ripley fire chief tells us flames broke out at the Shaver Street residence around 2:15 in the afternoon Monday. Before fire trucks arrived on scene, the chief says one of his volunteers and a neighbor used a ladder to rescue the home's lone occupant. The woman was taken via ambulance to Westfield Hospital for smoke inhalation. Her two dogs, which were on the back porch of the house at the time, were also saved. Now, following an investigation into the fire's cause, police determined the blaze started when a discarded ash from a wood stove sparked combustible material nearby. The home suffered severe damage and is likely a total loss. The family was assisted by the Red Cross. And a 22-year-old man died after crashing his vehicle into a building in Fredonia this week. Village of Fredonia police report a vehicle was traveling west on Main Street around 9:20 on Monday when it exited the roadway and struck a nearby carpet and furniture building that evening. The driver, who has not been identified, will undergo an autopsy at Erie County Medical Center in Buffalo to establish his cause of death. The building, police say, was not damaged as a result of the collision. And a 36-year-old man is behind bars after allegedly breaking into a house in Dunkirk yesterday. City of Dunkirk police allege that Thomas Fafinski II gained entry to a home on Lakeshore Drive West around 1:40 via a back window. A resident, police say, witnessed him climbing into the home and called 911. It's alleged he took property worth over $3,000. Officers were able to establish a perimeter around that home and later took him into custody. Fafinski is charged with 2 felonies, second-degree burglary and third-degree grand larceny. While some look forward to the holiday season, others might dread it as we navigate another year in this pandemic. On top of supply chain shortages, it can all be a lot to wrap your head around. As Erie News Now's Elsbeth Meisner reports, she's laying out some tips and advice for those struggling this holiday season.
While gathering around the table can be a joyous occasion for some, for others, it can be anything but that.
I think taking COVID on top of holidays and just the uncertainty that that's brought to our lives has sort of amplified for people how they're coping.
Melissa Solkowski, a licensed professional counselor and owner of Nurturance, says during stressful times, it's important to take care of ourselves.
I think a lot of times with the hustle and bustle, we can get lost in being aware of and reminding ourselves just to slow down and, again, kind of noticing and trusting what we need in order to stay healthy within ourselves, and then also to model that for our families.
She also says that losing a loved one can cause even more stress, which is why it's okay to step back and even say no to some things.
Really allowing yourself time and space to grieve if you've lost a loved one, and really not putting so much on yourself that it becomes unmanageable. A lot of times we cope in ways where we want to manage.
Sokolsky says that putting yourself first is important, and it can be found in many ways, whether it's carving some more time out for yourself or even seeking some professional help. She says that most years she sees new clients after January 1st, and she's proud of them for taking that first step.
Being able to ask for help and not being afraid to do that. I think, I try to normalize for people that we all are human and we all have stuff we're coming into.
Elsbeth Meisner, Erie News Now.
Experts say managing what you can and scheduling self-care both ways to cope with feelings and the uncertainty of the holiday season is the best move. Well, the Jamestown Area Nature Center has cut the ribbon on a new wildlife exhibit. The Audubon Community Nature Center on Riverside Road dedicated the new exhibit after Pamela Westrom, a Jamestown native and environmentalist. The Lene Foundation, Scott Electric, and Comus Foundation helped pay for the improvement, which sits next to the popular Liberty Bald Eagle exhibit. While the indoor building is complete, there are a few final improvements before the residents can move in. In the end, the center hopes to host several different bird species, with the exhibit opening sometime next year. Certainly really excited for our friend Liberty to have some neighbors. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comments down below. We thank you for joining us here for WNY News Now, streaming live on Facebook, WNYNewsNow.com, and of course, channel 716 on Roku. If you haven't downloaded that yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. Add it to your lineup today. It's great to see Lynn. Good to see Mark, Samantha. Good afternoon to Wendy, Stephen, and Raymond and Dave. Hopefully you all are having a great day. We appreciate you tuning in for a check of some local news and weather. That's where we find Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. It's your big role of the day, Dakota. And luckily, things are kind of quiet out there, all things considered.
Yes, today is a quiet day, so you'd want to get out and enjoy today if you can. A live look over Chautauqua Lake shows you just a few of those breaks in the cloud cover. 37 with a southwest wind of 4 miles an hour. Satellite and radar shows you, not a whole lot going on. Again, just a few of those clouds at times. And again, there's breaks in the cloud cover, so it's not going to be full cloudy today, but not full sunshine either. But it's going to be a good mix of clouds and sunshine. I think more clouds, though, than sun, though. 35 was the high yesterday. Started the day at 30, 68, and 10 below zero is the record high for this, the record low for this day, set back in 1936. So through the afternoon, mostly cloudy, some limited sunshine through the afternoon. More clouds will filter in later on in the day, 34 to 42 with a south wind. Now, tomorrow, the weather changes again. We get into some rain showers, windy, and then the snow returns. We'll talk about it in detail with that Ultimate Satellite Solutions 7-day forecast later on in the show. Justin.
In about 10 minutes. Thank you, sir. A former Jamestown City Court judge will return to the bench come January 1st. Jamestown City Council, during a meeting on Monday, approved the nomination of lawyer George Penabianco to the new judge as city court. He's replacing Frederick Lawson, who has reached the mandatory retirement age for that job. Penabianco briefly addressed the council following the vote. He says that he remains committed to serving the community in his role as judge.
I can promise you that I will work very hard and make sure that our citizens are protected and make sure that justice is served in our city. So thank you very much for your confidence, and I'll do the very best I can.
Now, he has practiced law for the last 32 years. A lifelong Jamestown resident, he has worked at Lewis & Lewis for over 27 years, serving as president and managing partner. In a statement, Penabianco says that he knows the firm will continue to provide quality representation to its clients. Well, the Pennsylvania Department of Human Services are reminding residents that resources are available to those who are struggling this season. Assistance for rent and utilities, meals and groceries, and health care for adults and kids are available to all who need it.
Those who need help are not nameless faces. They are our friends, neighbors, community members, people we chat with at the grocery store or wave to when taking a walk in our towns.
Officials say it's important to spread the word about these resources, especially this time of the year because of the pandemic's impact. A full list of everything that's available is posted online at WNYNewsNow.com. Well, coming up, the new push to raise the minimum wage for those with disabilities. And later, a preview of this weekend's holiday parade here in Jamestown. We speak with the 2 heroic police officers who will be honored. Stay with us as WNY News Now continues.
Happy holidays from WNY News Now.
Welcome to Honest John's Pizzeria, where you are the most important customer.
Everything from freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has it all.
And don't forget the ice cream!
Order online today or check out our 2 great locations with buffets ready for every appetite.
Don't I have the best job in the world?
What could you lose in a home fire? Your possessions? Your home? Your memories? Don't let your world go up in smoke. Make sure you have working smoke alarms and practice an escape plan for you and your loved ones, because fire is everyone's fight.
This message was brought to you by the Jamestown Fire Department and the Chautauqua Safety Village.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Hi, I'm Al Steffens, owner of Chautauqua Comics. For the last 28 years, we have been your premier retailer of comic books. But we have so much more.
Located at 214 Fairmount Avenue in Jamestown, the shelves are stocked with everything from superhero to classic G.I. Joe and Star Wars. Looking for Pokemon? Chautauqua Comics has it all.
If you have any questions, stop in today or give us a call. Chautauqua Comics, Al speaking.
Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
After postponing their event due to the pandemic last year, the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame has rescheduled its 40th annual induction of area athletic figures. The museum announced their induction dinner will take place Monday, February 21st at the Lakewood Rod and Gun Club. 11 athletes will be formally welcomed into the Hall of Fame. Inductees include Sarah Burnett, Andrew Krieger, Christina Colbert, Michael Serini, Lewis Mack, Mark Tamruda, and Randall Anderson. Now, 4 deceased honorees will also be added. That includes George Barone Jr., Harry Carlson, Larry Rogers, and Rickard Sherman. Well, CNN has suspended anchor Chris Cuomo indefinitely after details emerged about how he assisted his brother, former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, in facing sexual harassment charges earlier this year. Now, documents released by New York's Attorney General on Monday say Cuomo was more involved in his brother's efforts than CNN executives previously knew. According to emails and a transcript of his testimony, investigators working for the state AG found that the CNN anchor pressed sources for information on his brother's accusers and reported back to the governor's staff, and was active in helping craft their response to the charges. Now, Andrew Cuomo was found to have sexually harassed at least 11 women, that according to the AG. Chris Cuomo previously acknowledged talking to his brother and offering advice when the governor faced harassment charges. Now, but the information released yesterday revealed far more details about what exactly Chris Cuomo did. Well, there's been talks of bumping up the federal minimum wage for anyone between $12 and $15 an hour. U.S. Senator Bob Casey is taking a closer look at increasing the wage for those with disabilities. Right now, the minimum wage stands at $7.25, but people with disabilities earn sub-minimum wage, which is less than half of the minimum wage. Now, sub-minimum wage is around $3.34. According to the senator, about 100,000 people are making that wage. Under this bill, sub-minimum wage would be phased out over the next 5 years. To help balance the higher costs, the bill would provide grants to states or employers that transition to a business model that pays at least a minimum wage to workers with disabilities. However, it's still unclear about how much that would cost. Today, the Supreme Court takes up the most important abortion case in a generation, a case that could fundamentally transform one of the most controversial decisions on the books, Roe v. Wade. Britt Conway has a closer look ahead of the oral arguments, which are now underway.
Jane Roe versus Henry Wade, a case filed in Dallas, Texas 50 years ago. Less than 3 years later, the Supreme Court ruled to affirm abortion rights nationwide. Since then, the case we now know as Roe v. Wade has been at the center of American politics.
Trust women! Trust women! We will abolish abortion!
Now, the justices consider a momentous question. Should Roe v. Wade be overturned? Front and center, a Mississippi law signed in 2018, though it's been blocked by lower courts ever since because it directly conflicts with Roe v. Wade and the 1992 case Planned Parenthood v. Casey. These cases establish the Constitution protects a woman's choice to have an abortion, and states can only ban abortions after the point of viability. That's when a fetus can survive outside the womb. In 1992, the court said that's between 23 and 24 weeks, but the Mississippi law bans abortions after 15 weeks. If the justices uphold the Mississippi law, it would be much easier for states to ban or more seriously restrict abortion rights. With one estimate of 26 states fully banning abortions, seen here in orange, with nearly a half-century of legal precedent built upon Roe v. Wade hanging in the balance. I'm Britt Conway reporting.
Well, Thanksgiving may be in the rearview mirror, but if you have leftover pumpkin pie or any other kind of pie, today's the perfect day to devour it. It's because it's National Pie Day. And actually, make that National Pie Day Part 2. The pie celebration on December 1st is the second observance of the year, according to nationaldaycalendar.com. The more popular National Pie Day is on January 23rd. Bake it up, slice it up, and then gobble it up, whether it's blueberry, sweet potato, pumpkin, or pecan. Any way you slice it, it's a nice way to get through your hump day. Oh, looks good. Let us know if you are enjoying National Pie Day in the comment section down below and on social media at WNY News Now. You know who makes a really good pie is Dakota's mom. You guys make a great pecan pie, and I was fortunate enough to have some, Justin. And I ate it all by myself. So don't tell anybody.
She'll be glad to know that. She'll be glad to know that.
Yeah, please let her know.
So, yeah.
I love it. I loved it. And that's the one thing I miss about you working remotely is you bring me treats. And
yeah, because my dad here, my dad gives away Christmas cookies as Christmas gifts. So he's probably going to, start revving up the oven here probably in the next week or so to start baking a whole bunch of Christmas cookies for everybody. So.
Yeah, I look forward to it. I really do. I'll be watching the clock. Don't worry. 2 weeks. Okay?
We'll see. We'll see when he does it. But speaking of like a doozer, you does it, in the words of Justin Timberlake, let's go straight into weather. And wanted to give you basically just a review of November now since we've left it in the rearview mirror. The coldest day we had was just a few days ago on the 27th, where the high was only 30, 65 at the beginning of the month. On the 8th is the warmest day we had. 4.75 inches of rain. That's above average by an inch. And how about 15.6 inches of snow? That is above average by almost 6 inches. And hey, if you missed it yesterday, the good news is Holiday Valley is opening this Friday, plans to open this Friday, weather permitting, and they have 12 inches of snow on the ground. They plan to open for the season. None of the other ski resorts yet have since announced the opening dates, but we'll keep you updated on those. But if you're a fan of the Valley, they plan to open this Friday. Live look outside from the HD News Now cam shows you, some sunshine downtown. 34 with a south wind of 10. The wind chill at 26, so it's still cold, but it's December. It's supposed to be cold, folks. We're now into meteorological winter, so it's going to be cold. Now, tomorrow really becomes our next concern here. We'll see a strong front moving our way, so scattered to widespread rain showers through the day tomorrow. Basically the same thing that we talked about yesterday. It's going to be showers with wind gusts as well, possibly 40 to 45 miles per hour, and there will be some snow melt possible as well. So I'm not too concerned about flooding, but there will be some snow melt there. On the satellite and radar, notice we have a blue line and a red line straight across the region. We have a cold front moving through, but a warm front trying to push northward. So temperatures are ultimately going to rise overnight, and then through the day tomorrow we'll be in the 40s Some spots may actually top 50 tomorrow, but that's going to be a stretch. So here's the computer modeling. Shows you, just a mostly cloudy day today. This is going into tonight. A few mixed rain and snow showers could be possible, but I do think it should be mostly cloudy to mainly dry. Then as we go into Thursday, we'll see those rain showers at times. It also turns windy as well, so watch out for that as well. Again, wind gusts could be around 40 to 45 miles an hour. Then wouldn't you know it, the snow returns as we go into Friday. So this is an early look at the Christmas parade forecast. The Christmas parade kicks off at 6 p.m. In downtown Jamestown. And of course, we will be broadcasting it live right here on Facebook Live and of course on the streaming channels as well. 32 down to 30. There might be a light snow shower, but hey, it's good for the Christmas parade. The next 7 days of your life are coming up, brought to you by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. 48 tomorrow, wind gusts 40, 45, and the cold returns on Friday. Saturday and Sunday, a few light snowflakes, maybe an inch out of accumulation out of that each day, if that. Maybe a mixed shower on Monday, then we're back into the snow showers as we go into early next week. We'll take a break and be right back. Don't go away.
Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
Remember when you were a kid, huddled around the television waiting for your school to close? Well, we don't get snow days. When winter weather hits, count on the First Defense Weather Team for a look into the future where the snow is headed next. Live radar showing you the scope of the storm. And real-time reports from the field. So when it matters most, stay with First Defense Weather.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
The registration is being run through the Chamber's sites, which is www.jtny.com. So if you go to click on that link, there's a fillable form online that you can just type in. We'll want to know, obviously a business name or a community group's name, the location, a contact name, and then if you just plan on marching or if you actually have a float. I come from a small business family, so small business to me is very important. I understand about being in downtown Jamestown and being a small business. I want to meet with them and I want to gauge if they're going to be open, number one. If they're number two, would they like to promote a special or something that evening that they can do just for the parade? A good friend of mine, like a teacher at Washington Middle School, Lisa Peters. What do you think about Jamestown, New York, a diverse city, celebrating traditions from around the world? Perfect. That's us. That's who we are. That's a great theme.
Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
Happy holidays from WNY News Now.
Welcome back. The weekend's holiday parade in Jamestown will not only ring in Christmas spirit, but honor two of Jamestown's finest, police officers credited with saving lives. Our Dante Roberts joins us live in studio with more on their story. Dante?
Justin, the parade organized by Collaborative Children's Solutions kicks off Saturday at 6 p.m. in downtown Jamestown with co-grand marshals leading the way, Officer Mark Conklin and Jackie Martin Albin. As organizer Patrick Smeraldo explains, the two officers are honored for their life-saving actions this year.
Realistically, I always say, Collaborative Children's Solutions is about offering opportunities for kids. The opportunities those two officers have offered to children to be able to grow and experience life and celebrate this holiday and celebrate December 3rd and 4th, those opportunities that our police officers in this town have offered,
there isn't a price tag on that.
In July, Conklin helped save the Rivera family after they woke up in the middle of the night to their William Street home completely engulfed in flames.
I'm just grateful that I was where I was when I was. I mean, I think every officer that works with us would feel the same way, that we just like helping people and being there for somebody in need.
The humble nature of Officer Conklin seems to be a common attribute of many he serves alongside, including his co-Grand Marshal, Officer Martin Albin.
I heard unresponsive, so I didn't know what I was walking into.
Explained Officer Martin Albin, who recalled her life-saving actions that revived a baby back in September. The department says her quick response and CPR likely saved the newborn.
I just was praying for that baby so hard. I wanted it to make it. And I mean, I prayed for weeks for that kid, and I still pray for him.
The parade's focus on children and the everyday heroes that walk the streets of Jamestown is something Smeraldo is doubling down on.
I could do projects until I'm 105 years old, and I can't offer anything that would fit into a thimble compared to what those two officers offered those families and those kids.
For the officers, seeing the kids come together is the best reward for their actions.
Just seeing the kids' faces and their excitement at being at the parade. Like I said, I remember when I was younger and just being really excited to be out there and enjoy the festivities.
In addition to the Grand Marshal role, both Conklin and Martin Albin will be featured during the annual Christmas tree lighting ceremony that follows the parade. Justin, back to you.
Dante, thanks for sharing that with us. And it's so incredible to look at their stories, which, you know, I think both have made the news in relative time, right? Everybody, I would imagine, knows Officer Conklin. He was featured on CNN and Fox News for his trending body camera footage, and now Officer Elba here, who saved a newborn baby. And to this day, they're still so humble. I mean, that blows my mind that for them, it's just doing their job. It really is so cool. And I think it goes back to our community as a whole, where a lot of people, they don't want the recognition. They just want to do the right thing. So it really is great. Dante, thank you for sharing that with us. And we thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. And I'll remind you as a programming note that if you want to catch the parade, but you don't want to brave the weather outside, you can do it from your home by watching us here on Facebook Live, channel 716 on Roku, and WNYNewsNow.com. We will be streaming the entire event live as the official media sponsor this year, starting at 6 o'clock on Saturday. So we hope to see you then, and we'll be sharing a lot more of their stories too as time rolls along. Well, let's get a final check of our weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter joining us with that. And a lot of people may be trying to get in the Christmas spirit, but we're not really having Christmas weather. We have snow, but rain? I don't know.
Yeah, but at least tonight, I mean, it's not going to be feeling like winter at all, though, tonight. Temperatures, the low temperature you see there, 34, that's here in the city. Some spots will be a little warmer than that. Temperatures rise as a warm front pushes through, so we're going to rise into the lower 40s by morning, maybe a mixed rain or snow shower by morning, and the wind increases out of the south, 10 to 20 with some wind gusts around 30, and it becomes even breezier as we go through the day tomorrow, Justin. So, yeah, if you've already started hanging those Christmas decorations outside, just make sure you got them tied down pretty well so that way they don't fly away.
Yeah, we're going to really have to hold on to our hat. And I noticed one thing this morning while I was watching the news. It seems like this month of November, which is usually the windiest time, right? We get the leaves blown off and all that. We haven't had that many wind storms, all things considered, have we?
Well, I mean, in terms of wind and you know, we talk about this a lot, how the Jamestown Airport, we don't have records for wind at the Jamestown Airport. So it is kind of hard to try to figure out, well, okay, has this November been really windier than average or less windier? Because there's no records on that at the Jamestown Airport, unfortunately. But but from being outside, you know, it really doesn't seem like it's been all that windy. No. But again, fall and winter are usually our two windiest seasons, so we're going to get into more wind as we go into winter. I guarantee it.
Yeah, and that's what's tough about the snow aspect of it. I think, yes, lake effect is horrible, but when you get to those fields, I can just think of 86 going through like Kennedy, for example. oh gosh, it's just the wind just takes that snow and it makes it almost unbearable for some spots. So certainly stay safe out there as we deal
Wide
with
open
that
country
wind.
is always the worst when it comes to the winter.
Yeah,
Snow
no
drifts.
doubt. That's it for us. We'll leave you with this live look over Chautauqua Lake. Have a great day. We're back here tomorrow.